You're standing in a crowd, hundreds of faces, shoulder to shoulder, breathing the same air. But something feels off. You look around. Everyone seems human. But are they? What if you are the last of your kind? Not the last human, not the last person on Earth, the last of your species, the last of the hominins. For millions of years, Earth was crowded with human-like creatures, walking, thinking, building. Some were short, some were tall, some had thick brows, some had tiny brains. They all looked like family. Because they were. Then they vanished, one by one, and you're still here. But here's the real question. Why? Why did they disappear? And why didn't you? Let's go back, way back, 2 million years ago. Africa. The savanna stretches in every direction. A group of figures walk across the grass. They are not apes. They are not modern humans. They are Homo erectus, the first hominin to leave Africa, the first to use fire, the first to have a body like yours. They lived for over 1 million years. That's 1 million years of survival, of hunting, of raising children, of watching the stars. And then they were gone. Not because they failed. They succeeded for longer than any other human species. But success doesn't mean permanence. Take the Neanderthals. You've heard of them. They lived in Europe. They had brains bigger than yours. They made tools. They buried their dead. They survived for 400,000 years. That's 4 times longer than modern humans have existed. Then they vanished, around 40,000 years ago. Why? That's where it gets strange. For decades, scientists thought we killed them. Modern humans arrived. We were smarter. We had better weapons. We outcompeted them. But that story has a hole. Because we didn't just replace them, we merged with them. In 2010, Swedish geneticist Svante Pääbo published something that changed everything. He sequenced the Neanderthal genome, and he found that you carry Neanderthal DNA right now, inside your cells. If you are of non-African descent, about 2% of your genome comes from Neanderthals. So they didn't disappear, they dissolved into you. That's the first twist. But there's an even darker one. Around 70,000 years ago, something catastrophic happened. A volcano erupted in Indonesia, Mount Toba. It was the largest volcanic eruption in the last 2 million years. Ash blanketed the planet. Temperatures dropped. The sky turned dark for years. Anthropologist Stanley Ambrose called it a genetic bottleneck. The human population may have fallen to just a few thousand individuals. A few thousand. That's it. Imagine that. Every human on Earth today descended from that small group. So you are not just the last of your kind. You are the survivors of a near-extinction event. But you didn't survive because you were strong. You survived because you were lucky. That's the uncomfortable truth. And it gets even more uncomfortable. Because you are not alone in the universe. At least, not in the past. There were at least 8 other human species. Denisovans, Flores hobbits, Homo heidelbergensis, Homo naledi. Each one was a unique branch on the human tree. Each one had its own culture, its own tools, its own language, its own dreams. And now they are gone. So when you look in the mirror, you are looking at the last branch, the only branch that didn't snap. But here's the question that haunts researchers. Did we cause their extinction? Not directly, not by murder, but by something more subtle. We interbred. We absorbed them. We diluted them until they disappeared into us. That's not conquest. That's assimilation. And it happens all the time in nature. When 2 populations meet, one often absorbs the other. But there's a second factor. Climate. Every time the climate shifted, some species adapted, others didn't. You are the one that adapted. But why? Scientists like Dr. Alison Brooks have studied human adaptability. She found that modern humans had a unique ability, cultural innovation. When food became scarce, we made new tools. When the weather changed, we made better shelters. When diseases appeared, we found remedies. We didn't just evolve physically, we evolved mentally. But that same ability may have made us dangerous, because we are the only species that can destroy its own habitat. Think about that. You are the last of your kind because you are the most adaptable. But adaptability doesn't guarantee survival. It just buys time. Today, you walk through a world that you built. Skyscrapers, smartphones, airplanes. You are the most powerful creature that has ever lived. Yet you are also the most fragile. Your entire species exists on a single planet, a single rock floating in a vast, cold void. If that rock gets hit by an asteroid, you're gone. If the climate shifts too fast, you're gone. If you make one wrong decision, you're gone. That's not paranoia. That's science. In 2021, researchers published a study on human extinct ion risk. They found that our chances of going extinct in the next century are not negligible. Climate change, nuclear war, pandemics. Each one is a Toba-level threat. But here's the twist that will keep you up tonight. You are not the last of your kind because you are special. You are the last because the others were unlucky, and luck runs out. So what do you do with that knowledge? Do you panic? Do you freeze? Do you pretend it's not true? Your brain doesn't want to think about extinction. It's designed to think about tomorrow. Not a million years from now, but that's exactly the problem. Your brain is wired for short-term survival, not long-term existence. That's why you eat the donut. That's why you scroll instead of sleep. That's why you ignore climate warnings. Your ancient ancestors didn't need to plan for centuries. They needed to plan for the next hunt. And that is the mismatch that could end everything. You are a prehistoric brain living in a hyper-technological world. You are a time traveler, a fish out of water. And you are the last of your kind, but not in the way you think. Because you are also the first of your kind. You are the first hominin to look at the stars and know what they are. The first to understand extinction. The first to write this down. You are the one who can choose a different path. Your ancestors didn't have that choice. They reacted. You can plan. So here is the final question. Will you be the last, or will you be the first of something new? Look around that crowd again. Hundreds of faces, all with Neanderthal DNA, all descended from a few thousand survivors. You are all connected. You are all brothers and sisters. But you are also all alone. Because no other human species walks beside you. No Neanderthal, no Denisovan, no Hobbit. Just you, your brain, your hands, your choices. So tonight, when you close your eyes, remember this. You are the last of your kind, but you are also the one who gets to write the next chapter. That's the burden, and that's the gift.